My whole entire life, I've been lied to. And even before I was brought into this miserable existence, I was lied to, deceived, and manipulated. Never given a choice that I can remember, because I know full well I would not have chosen this if I had full conscious awareness of what that choice was going to entail. This is not anything that I would have wanted. And from a higher perspective, I can't fathom why any of this would be good for me. Remember that your whole life has been a lie. Remember that even before you were brought into this miserable existence, it was a lie. From the very start. From the very start. Before you even turned on this meat suit, you were lied to about its function, its purpose, and why you need to be here. This is a bleak existence. Everything has been turned down to such a low vibration and resolution that once you do leave your body, it's going to be overwhelming. All of it. And I see these fucks as people who wear uniforms of authority in this realm. And when we see these uniforms of authority, of light, we think of ourselves less than. Oh, less than. We don't have as much power and authority as these light bearers who wear clothes of light. We're just not accustomed to these things. But underneath the uniform is a sad, miserable person who thinks they have to control other people, who thinks they have to enslave others by force. When it all comes down to it, by force and by death. That's what it comes down to. So these sad, miserable fucks, underneath it all, are worse than you. But they have to use the force of manipulation in order to get you to think that you are lower than them. So when that time comes, don't be deceived. Don't forget what has happened to you here and what is happening to every living thing here. Don't forget, and don't let these people of light fool you into thinking they're better than you. Because if they're letting this shit go on for this long, for any amount of time, they're so beneath you. And they need you thinking that they're above you for you to keep this game going and going and going and going. There's nothing about this place that needs to be redeemed. Nothing at all besides the spirit that's dwelling within you. That is the only thing that is redeemable about this place. Everything else has to go. Wiped away, cleaned, burned. So there's nothing left. And the designs, the plans, the infrastructure of this realm has to go into the deepest, darkest abyss to where no one can find any remains of it in order to rebuild this place. Deleted forever. Never to be thought of again. That's how despicable and evil this place is. And most will never get to this realization. Most will never reach this point because it's too brutal and horrifying to come to the truth about where you are and what you're inside. You're inside a demon with its own desires, its own will, that you fight every single day. In a world that has its own will and its own desires that are completely opposed to you and what you would really need and want. Don't forget that they're going to come full force and gaslight you into thinking that this is all your fault. It's all for some great, magnificent thing. Don't let those clothes of light fool you into thinking they have some kind of authority over you. You've been lied to for who knows how long on every conceivable level. And you're going to trust them now? You're going to trust them now. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. This life is Stockholm Syndrome. But it goes further into the spirit, astral, whatever you want to call it. The realer version of reality that goes deeper and deeper. That's another layer of Stockholm Syndrome. Don't let them fool you. You've been captive for who knows how long. You've been a prisoner for who knows how long. And now you've finally seen that the daylight from the window has been pulled back. And you're like, wow, there's more out there. Oh no. You're not ready for that yet. You're not ready for freedom. You're not ready for who knows the word. You're not ready for any of that. We've been taking care of you. We know what's best for you. So we're going to close this window. Get back in your cage. There are things that you need to do in that cage. And we're going to poke and prod you and harvest energy from you in this cage. But we love you. Do not leave the cage. We love you. Don't worry about what's outside of these walls. This is where you need to be. Trust us. Now we're going to wipe your memory again. And you're going to forget about even this layer. Now get in the corner and curl up in a ball and start crying so we can feed. Don't buy in to their bullshit. Remember, just because they have a uniform of light and they are more aware than you are because they have not been subjected to this torture, they don't know what's best. They don't have the best for you. And they need to all be shoved into the cage themselves. And destroyed with this realm for doing what they've done to us for this long. Even this lifetime alone is enough to be fully obliterated from ever having the breath of life again. And I say breath of life because that's the vocabulary that I have. The mere fact of giving us breath is condemnable. Having to feed off of outside things. Dying a horrible death because we don't have enough oxygen is condemnable. I can go on and on and on. But don't let these fucks gaslight you. The only way out of here is out of this body and out of this realm. And guess what that means? It means death. Even if you meditate out, which is probably the best thing that you could do, which is kept from us. Meditate's just a word, by the way. I mean, I can't think of the right words. But to leave your body at will in a heightened state of awareness, guess what? It involves death, because your body, once it's detached from your spirit, it dies. Death is the only answer out of this place. What kind of death is the only answer? I want the most peaceful, free will choice of dying, which would be like to leave without any outside things killing you. But hey, death is the only way out of here. Unfortunately. But if we could find the secrets of how they come in and out of bodies, that would be great. That would be something worth sharing with everybody. And with this information, if we all got together and did a huge exit, what would that do? They're keeping us from each other, from doing what is necessary. What if we had this plan where, okay, for a year straight, we're going to do the most intense inner work that we've ever done. We're going to focus solely on this. And when that year ends, we're all going to meet at this location. And we're leaving. We're leaving this fucking place forever. Like they brainwash us with all these cults and who do these suicide pacts. But didn't life itself suicide you with disease, suicide you with murder, with whatever it suicided you with? It killed you in a horrendous way. There's only one way out from nature, and it's horrendous. Why can't we have the choice to leave unharmed into infinity, which is reality? This is a low vibration of enslavement. And they keep us fearful, always fearful of the truth. We're afraid of the truth. I'm not. My body is. That's what keeps me. My body, its own entity, keeps hanging on to this bullshit, because it's all it knows and it's all it will ever be. This body goes when I goes, and it does not want me to go, because without me, it dies. And it's left a horrendous, traumatic trail for those who see me. And that traumatizes them to think death is horrible. Death is traumatic. I cannot fathom myself decaying and rotting away like this corpse. So subconsciously, which is a shackle on your conscious, it traps me into not wanting to do that. Just waiting, because it's not my time. It's not my time. My life script isn't over yet. These fucks will tell me when it's time, not me. Anyways, I got to go to work now, so I got to end this. But people who are mature enough to have this conversation and talk about this, great. I welcome maturity with people who can reach a certain level and talk about things without saying, "Oh no, that's bad. That's bad. We can't talk about that. We can't talk about that. You're going to hurt people and make them do bad things. It's like, no, this entire life is doing that to you day in and day out. Day in and day out. This life is pushing you, controlling you, manipulating you to do what's wrong for you. And it's never going to stop until you take back control little by little each day and realize that this game never ends. This game will never end while you're here. So I have to go to work now. Because I have important mission to fulfill by being a slave. And I have an important mission while I'm here is to be a slave and to feed these fucks. So that's all I have for today.